everybody? Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm coming at you with an interesting video. Today I want to talk about water filtration. And more specifically, I want to show you how to make a simple water filtration system that can be used at home or at camp. Okay, now the first thing I want to mention about this system is we're using a water filter. Okay, this filter that we're choosing today is the Sawyer Mini. This is an excellent water filter. It's a 0.1 micron filter. This is a very high tolerance. This filter will remove a lot of things out of the water. It'll remove bacteria, it'll remove Protozoa, it'll remove, which is like Giardia and Cryptosporidium. It will not remove viruses. But in North America, where I live, viruses are not common in our local water supplies. This is something that you can use with lake water, stream water, well water, tap water, things of that nature. Now, another thing when I'm talking about this filter that's important for you to know is when it comes to contaminated water. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about animal feces or animal deer pee or stuff like that. When I talk about contamination, I'm talking about lead, metals, things like that. And I'm also talking about chemicals. This filter will not remove those things, okay? Again, this video, this procedure that I'm sharing is just a technique that I like. It works good for backcountry type water. So stay with me. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay folks, very quickly before we get started, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the materials that you're going to need. In my hand I have some baling wire. This is just, I mean, you could use copper electrical wire, you could use any kind of wire. Just something that's fairly sturdy, so you need some wire. I have two plumbing fittings that I got from my local hardware store. They thread together. Okay. I also have an O-ring, again at my local hardware store, that fits over this fitting that will fit together. And I have a small fitting here that has a barb on the end of it that can accept a tube that threads into this. Okay. So these are local things that I got at my local hardware store. I spent like 12 bucks on all this stuff. I have a small drill bit. Doesn't matter what size really. I think this is like, I don't know, 3/16 or something like that. What is that? 9/64. Okay, it doesn't really matter the size of the drill bit, honestly. All we're going to use that for is to create a vent so that the bucket doesn't vacuum. Today I have a 3/4 inch spade bit. Okay. I have a measuring tape. Obviously I'm going to be using the Sawyer Mini. This is, again, this is an excellent water filter. This is what we're going to use for the project today. I have a small pair of lineman's pliers. I have about 3 feet of hose. Now originally I wanted to get some sort of stretchy rubber type hose, something like what you would find on a slingshot, but my local hardware shop didn't have that on hand today, so I picked this up. This is a plastic hose. It's going to work for now, but eventually if you get the option to get rubber or plastic, I'd highly recommend the rubber. It needs that flexibility to it. This will work for now though. So I've got 3 feet of that. I have a drill. I have obviously a plastic bucket and a lid. So again, for all these things it was like 12 bucks. That does not include the filter. The filter was $20. I picked this up at Walmart. Okay folks, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to put my drill bit into my drill. From here, let me move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to measure up approximately 1.5 inches from the bottom of the bucket. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything perfect or anything like that. It's just a guesstimate. The reason that we want to come up from the bottom of the bucket is because we want some space below where the spout's going to be to allow the debris to settle to the bottom of the bucket. So if we're using like really crazy water, we want a space for that stuff to go. So you can see barely that I marked the bucket right here. I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole. I'm going to drill it as centered as I can. And when I'm saying is centered, I'm talking about the center of the handle here. And I just want things to kind of look like they line up a little bit. Looks like my drill bit came loose in my drill. There we go. So I'm just going to drill this bucket. Nothing too crazy. Just like that. Got a little messy on that, didn't mean to. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and take the lid off and we'll get inside there. We're just going to kind of clean up that little bit of a mess that we made. Nothing too crazy. If you have a pocket knife or a utility knife or something like that, you can use that at this point. What you want to do is you want to get rid of these little burrs and stuff that are sitting there. Okay, so but we did okay. Now I'm going to take my first fitting, which is this one. Okay, I'm going to stick it in from the back, or should I say from the inside. Let me clean this up a little bit more. I'm going to grab my knife. I got a couple little burrs on the inside that I need to take care of, so bear with me, folks. It's nothing too significant. Just want a good clean hole. Okay, so I'm just kind of cleaning this baby up. It's very forgiving. Doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. Again, we could be doing this in a survival situation or in a camp type setting. So I cleaned up my hole. From here, again, I'm going to put the threaded side out towards you. See that? I'm just kind of threading that baby in. Once I get this on, and I get it where it feels like it's flush to the plastic inside, you see how it's flush to the plastic on the inside? Then at that point I will put my O-ring on around there, and I'm going to use this second collar right here, and I'm going to thread it against that O-ring. This I'm going to thread pretty tight with my hands. I want to make this fairly tight because I want to compress that O-ring a little bit. See that? Just like that. That looks really good. See, I have a good tight seal. Looking at the inside, I'm looking at the outside, everything looks good. Now, you can also use neoprene type flat washers too, if you find those, if they don't have the O-ring in the size that you need. From here, I'm going to take this threaded area, this threaded barb here, and if you have some Teflon tape, go ahead and put some Teflon tape on this. I'm going to do that real quick. Sorry about that, folks. I should have told you that you would need that at the beginning of the video. So I'm just threading a little Teflon tape, nothing too crazy. And if you forget this step, it's not going to kill the project. There we go. Now I'm going to thread this barb in, just like so. This is a quick project, very easy to put together. It doesn't cost much. So $12 at the hardware store and $20 on the filter. Now I'm going to switch drill bits real quick. I'm going to use my small drill bit because what I need to do is I need to create a spot which will not allow for a vacuum. So I'm going to go right up the front, and I'm going to go up about as high as I can, which is right here. Drill a small hole from the inside. Just like that. That's all you need, folks. The reason I drilled it up so high is because I wanted the hole to be protected underneath this lip here. I wanted it to be protected. I didn't want debris and dirt and stuff to be able to get in that hole, but I wanted the bucket to be able to vent. If the bucket didn't have the ability to vent, it would create a vacuum and I wouldn't get any water flow. So now, sorry about that, I'm going to set that lid up top. Some people drill the vent right in the top. I don't prefer to do that. Now let's take out our Sawyer Mini. I don't need the squeeze bag. I don't need the backwash syringe right now. I just need the filter. The filter has an arrow of flow. This is going to be the end of the filter where we get our clean water, and this is going to be the dirty end of the filter. So I'm going to lube this with my mouth. And I'm going to put this on this barb. Hopefully we'll get it to fit. Okay, we're good there. Didn't go all the way, but I'm waiting for that rubber tubing. Now, flow is going to go this way, so we need to fit like this. Again, I'm going to lube this with my mouth. Put a little bit of saliva on it to try to get it to fit. And that one fit really well. It fit all the way. This one, if I can get it to go a little more, I will, but I'm not going to sit here and fight with it because my plan is eventually to get the right hose. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this wire for? This wire, I'm going to fold the tails together just like this, and I'm going to make this thing in half. Now this is where my lineman's pliers come in. I'm just going to kind of pinch this together just like this. Where's that drill? Right here. I'm going to chuck this into my drill right up in the tip here. See that? Now I'm going to hold both of these ends here in my wrench, in my pliers, and I'm slowly going to spin this thing to make one thick wire. See that? Doesn't have to be anything crazy. See what I made? I made a nice thick wire. Now what this is going to be is this is going to be a hook that when I want to put my filter away, I'm just going to hook it right up here on the top. So I'm going to fold it around my filter here, just like this, and then I'm going to make one twist on it here. Don't twist it too tight around the filter because you don't want to break your water filter. Then I'm just going to make a little hook. The hook is going to catch on the top of the bucket. Now, my friends, we're done. This water filter system is finished. Let's test it out. Okay, folks, I'm back. I've got this thing full, about halfway with water. This is just tap water that I put in there. One thing that I want to note is that this water system is a gravity fed system. You can also undo this and suck out of it, and you can get water that way. Or if you want to use the gravity system, just put it a little bit higher. I've got this other bucket. I'm going to put this to use for this video so that you can see the water coming out in action. So I have a small container where I'm going to catch some water, and all I have to do is lower this below this spigot and it'll start to produce water. So as I bring it low down to you, you see the water coming out? The lower I go, the more water it gives me. So I'm just putting my bottle, get my bottle. If you want to turn it off, just raise it up. So I've got a clean water bottle. I want to just lower it down. Let me look down to you down here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm getting some water here. It's just filling my bucket, or excuse me, my bottle. See that? It's going at a pretty good rate. It's a gravity fed system. I'm just holding that bottle. Once it gets full, then I'll just raise it up and I'll be finished with my water. This is the only water filter that I've found on the market that advertises removal of Cryptosporidium and Giardia. And that's kind of rare. It's not every day that you see a filter that'll do that. This is great to have around camp. It's great to have around the house. So we're about to finish up. I'm going to slowly raise it up, and you can see that the flow is still barely coming. See that? As I raise it up, you see the flow is going to get a little weaker. So I want to come down. If you're equal to or a little bit lower than that spigot, you're going to get water. So I'm just going to fill this bottle up. That's probably good. Now I come up, hook this on the bucket up top, just like so, and I have my good, safe drinking water. So if you're planning to go overseas where the water is questionable, or if you're going to be going out to the river and you're going to stay a week or two, something of that nature, this is an excellent setup that you can do very quickly, and you can produce excellent drinking water. Tastes amazing. It's almost better than bottled water, to be honest with you. So that, my friends, is my video on how to set up a temporary water filtration system for about $32. Folks, there's one more thing that I may have forgot to mention, and if I did, my apology. This Sawyer Mini filter is good for 100,000 gallons of water. It has a backwashing capability where if this thing, say you have some really dirty, nasty water and it starts plugging up your filter, you can take the included syringe that comes in this pack. It has a syringe. Let me show you very quickly. Looks like this. And take you some previously filtered water. Open the cap, remove this from the system, and you'll go against the flow. Okay, you'll start here with, again, clear filtered water, and you'll go against the flow, and what will happen is you'll backwash. And all the dirty things that have contaminated your filter and clogged it up will come out. So if you start to notice that your water filter has slowed down on how fast the water comes out, things of that nature, or if you get any kind of discoloration, or if you just, main thing is the flow will slow down. If that happens, it's time to backwash your filter. So again, you take purified clean water, boom, shoot it through there at a high rate of speed, and you'll see all kinds of junk and gunk come out the bottom here. So I just thought I'd throw that at you, just so you know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.
And over here, buddy. Look at that. Look at that right there. Get it.
Get the water.
Look. Get it. Look right there, buddy. Get in the bowl.
You don't want to be a movie star today, or what? Oh, there you go. Oh, no, good boy. Are you a good boy? Huh? Did you get some clean water, buddy?